All right, well, hey there, folks. Had a little technical difficulty here in our News Now Center. I'm getting things cranked up now, though, getting ready to go. And looking, of course, here at what is now Tropical Storm Fred. Let me get myself up here so I'm not just a disembodied voice. All right, sorry, trying to get everything going. So many buttons to push. All right, so Fred, this is the storm here. It's getting itself better organized this morning, and that's starting to add some clarity to where, where it'll eventually end up going. Obviously, when a storm is very weak, what happens is that the circulation falls apart, then reforms, and falls apart and reforms. So we've seen that a number of times the last couple of days here with this storm, and that makes it very difficult to forecast, because if you don't know where something starts exactly, you can't know exactly where it's going to end up. But now we're getting a better handle on exactly where it's at, because it is getting a defined low-level circulation. The hurricane hunters have been flying around and found that. So you can see they're doing their they don't just fly straight through the storm then fly home. They have to go back and forth a whole bunch of times, dropping equipment to pinpoint where the center of circulation is. So that's one of their main things. Everybody thinks they're going out there just to get the wind speeds, but really the biggest piece of information they bring back is exactly where is that circulation at, because that tells us a lot about where a storm is going to go. It helps a lot with the forecast. So here it is, now back to tropical storm strength, a west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. It's a 12-hour loop, and you'll watch the icon here. It starts as a little L, and it kind of swirls around. And so essentially what's happened is that when they found where the center has reformed itself this morning, it's farther off to the east. So that means the storm is going to end up farther off to the east. And this is going to be a lopsided storm. The other thing we're noticing this morning, it's got a pretty good blow up. This thing is going to strengthen a little bit here today, even though it's dealing with some wind shear. Right now, winds of 40 miles per hour. And it's likely to get at least a little bit stronger here before it goes and makes landfall. Here are the models currently. Now you can see Mobile, remember we were in the path of the storm according to a lot of the models yesterday. They've shifted off to the east. This is all because instead of being here, the storm is actually here. The center is actually there. That's why it's so important for those hurricane hunters to fly out there and get that, because if they didn't, we wouldn't know. We'd have to just go off of what we have with the satellites, so we'd still have the models running over here towards Mobile. But now we've got a better center of the system. The models are coming into more of an agreement here for the Florida Panhandle. That's where the worst of the weather is going to be. And every time they keep updating the track here, they keep updating it farther and farther off to the east. They give it winds of 50 miles per hour at landfall sometime Monday evening. I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't get a little bit higher. It is looking fairly healthy this morning. But that said, I'm not going to grow into any major storm or anything like that. 50 might get to 60 or even 65 miles per hour with this system. The center line of the track right now is Okaloosa County. That's right on Destin Pass. That's the center line. And I know a lot of folks, you focus on the center, but the weather on this will all be on the east side. So anything to the west of this, not going to get much, which is 90% of our area. So we've been talking about this for days, and it looks like this is going to have very limited impacts on the folks that watch us here on Fox 10 News. Sure, right where it makes landfall, there will be pretty gusty winds and some of the rain and squalls coming through. But once you get off to the west of Okaloosa County, there's going to be much more limited impacts. Some squalls every once in a while will be possible. It'll be breezy. Actually, it'll probably be pretty nice, especially once you get west of 65 on Monday. Might be a pretty nice day. Not that hot, a little bit less humid because it'll be a good north breeze. So sometimes it's just how these things work out. Let's look at the watches. This is a tropical storm watch, and you can see it doesn't even extend into Mobile or Baldwin counties. It's all for the Florida Panhandle in the very southern counties up here along the interior of Alabama. Dothan's going to get worse out of this than Baldwin County. So it's just going to be how it works out with the way the system is going to go. That's where they're going to see the heavy, heavy rain. I'm going to go through some models. So if you have a few minutes here, go ahead and hang out. Here's the other thing. Right now, there is wind shear right through here, this sort of green blobby stuff. Those are winds that are kind of going like this, that's hampering the system. Thankfully, those winds are there, because this is a healthy looking system already. If this wasn't going to do that, I think it would have a chance to really kind of blow up on us. But this will be just enough likely to keep it down. Now, it may get a little stronger in that 50 miles per hour like the Hurricane Center has for now. Make it a little bit stronger than that, but it's not likely to go crazy on us. So it's just not going to have enough time, and it's going to be dealing with this wind shear. All right, so let's look at some modeling. This first chance of being able to show the high resolution modelings are just now getting into that window because high resolution modeling only runs out to 36 hours. So here we are Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening actually, and it's this marching north. Actually, high resolution modeling is now moving it even farther to the east. So here we are in Mobile. There's Panama City. Here's the center right about here, but all the rain, once again, the center right here, heavy rain over Panama City, then going over towards the Big Bend region of Florida like Tallahassee, Dothan getting heavy rain at that time. That's 10 a.m. Monday morning. And then we get to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And like I said, I think our weather will be actually pretty nice in Mobile. It'll have a nice breeze out of the northwest. All the rain will be way to our east. Some light rain across Pensacola and other parts of our panhandle. Okaloosa County getting some heavy rain there. But a lot of our area, like I said, not getting much out of this. This is all going to be off towards the panhandle and over towards Panama City. Panama City is probably going to get some of the worst out of this. And here it is. Actually, the center they're showing is right about here. That's 30A. Panama City's right here. 30A is right here. I know a lot of folks love to go, beautiful area to vacation at. That looks like on the high resolution modeling where it's bringing it in. Dothan up here, look at that, getting absolutely slammed by heavy rain. Meanwhile, nearly our entire viewing area, an occasional little squall, but really not much of anything. So this isn't going to be a big deal for us, folks. Let me just put it out there. So no need to worry about any of this for us. Now, folks in Panama City, it's going to be a nasty day on Monday. A lot of heavy rain, having to deal with all that. But, you know, as far as tropical systems goes, this one's not going to be a world changer. So here we go. I wanted to show you European model because that model was, like I said, the high resolution modeling. The European model does a good job with tropical systems. And I wanted to let you know that this one, here we go to 5 o'clock Monday afternoon. And then we go to, see, this one brings it in much later, like 2 or 3 in the morning. It also brings it much further to the west, over around Pensacola. So that's still a possibility. And if that happens, but I want you to notice something. Look where all the rain still is. Panama City, Dothan, areas off to the east. So even if it comes that far west, still the impacts across most of our viewing area will be pretty minimal. Once again, the heaviest rain will be over in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa counties, Mobile and Pensacola. We would get a little bit more rain, obviously, out of that than we would if it made landfall over in 30A, but still wouldn't get a whole lot. So the whole bottom line here is it's all panhandle focused, and even our part of the panhandle may kind of escape without getting too many impacts from this, depending on exactly how far east it ends up going. Panama City for sure is going to get a lot of heavy rain out of this. Mexico Beach, Cape San Blas, Port St. Joe, Apalachicola likely get a lot of heavy rain out of this. Storm surge isn't going to be an issue. It's not going to be strong enough, so no worries there. Sometimes we get tornadoes or landfalling hurricanes on the right-hand side. If that happens, it'll be more likely to happen over around Panama City. So once again, our area is just not going to be in any serious threat from Fred. So Fred is crossing Gulf today. It'll slowly strengthen. And Monday, rain bands start early for the Panhandle. Landfall will be late evening here for us, or for folks in the Panhandle. Rain, gusty winds, high surf. Obviously, the Panhandle is where the focus will be with this system. The only thing I really worry about for our local area is really this. Obviously, it's still August. Folks are visiting, going to the beach and that sort of thing. Today will be okay. You can get out there, yellow flags flying, moderate risk of rip currents. Monday and Tuesday, they'll high risk of rip currents, red flags will be flying, possibly double red flags. And it may be a nice day, like I said. On Monday, we may have a really pretty day in Gulf Shores or Orange Beach or Dauphin Island. Pretty day, but the water will still be churned up and it'll be rough. So that's the thing I worry about, because it'll be nice and folks will want to go down to the beach if they're off or they're on vacation, and we still have high rip current risk. So hopefully folks be careful out there. Of course, Fred's not the only one going. We also have Grace. Grace is almost completely following in the footsteps here of Fred. In fact, it goes right over the island of Hispaniola, and look, it shows it weakening again. And then going over Cuba, and staying fairly weak as it goes over Cuba, and then emerging in the Gulf on Thursday. So when you wake up on Tuesday morning, Fred's going to be pretty much north of us and pretty much out of our hair. Within 2 days, we'll have another system in the Gulf. So, I mean, it's just one after the other. And this one doesn't seem to be showing the turn in the, it's not making that hook that we just saw with Fred here. So it's more of a straight trajectory. So you kind of draw this line out and you go, okay, well, that's Galveston or Houston. Possibly. I mean, there's a cone for a reason. You can see how wide it is here. I mean, there's a big difference if it goes here. That's going towards Brownsville, Texas, or it goes here, and that's coming awfully close to us. So there's a pretty wide spread still at this point with Grace. So nobody knows exactly where this one's going to end up at this point, but we do know that it will end up in the Gulf, and we'll have to, obviously watch it pretty closely. Just for a reminder, today is going to be a nice day. There'll be some scattered storms around later on. So your Sunday's fine. You want to get out and enjoy your day. Not going to have any issues out there. It looks pretty good, sort of a typical day. And I've been really trying to figure out how to deal with this. You when put up a 7-day, you have to put up sort of a general rainfall percentage. And it's going to be so different here across the area on Monday. I mean, literally, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa counties, you're getting 100% chance of rain almost certainly. And then as you back off to the west, the rain chances are going to go down. In fact, our Mississippi counties, it may be just a stray shower possibility, and Mobile County, our eastern shore, the occasional squall might be possible, but it won't be like a 100% rain out kind of thing by any stretch. So, but the panhandle parts of it will be. So just keep that in mind when we look at the rain chances here on Monday. And then as we go past Monday, we go back to basically regular weather, our regularly scheduled programming, hot, humid showers and storms likely in the afternoon. So if you're just joining us, got the latest numbers here at the top of the hour on Fred. Fred is a tropical storm now. That changed a couple of hours ago. So the hurricane hunters flew out. They found a low-level circulation, and when they found it was a little bit farther off to the east than what was approximated before. So that's kind of changed things. So, and you wonder why. Why do these tracks shift around? Well, especially with a weak storm like this one, when it keeps falling apart and then reforming, then falling apart, then reforming, the only thing we can do is send the hurricane hunters out there to see if we can find it when it actually starts to come back together. And when it does start to come back together like it has, then we get a better grasp of where it might end up. Because if you don't know where something starts, you don't know where it's going to end exactly. So you really need to pinpoint exactly where it's at. And that's what the hurricane hunter's been out there doing this morning. It finally started to show a definite low-level circulation, and now we got a good fix on it. And we have a good fix with the models going into the panhandle. And I'll give you the latest, if you haven't checked this out, the latest tropical track, and you can see the western bound edge is about the Florida-Alabama line. The eastern bound edge is about Mexico Beach. Yeah, about Mexico Beach. And the center line is Destin Pass, Crab Island, right through Destin. And everything, the heavy weather will all be on the east side of this. So even if it comes in this far to the west, I mean, we're still talking only the Florida Panhandle getting any serious impact or impacts out of this. Very minimal, anything off to the west of this. In fact, I think Monday is probably going to be a pretty nice day in Mobile. Breezy, maybe the occasional squall, but there'll be very few, and pretty nice day. Not as hot as it typically is, not as humid as it typically is because of a strong north breeze wrapping around that system. So I don't think we're going to have any real problems in Mobile or Baldwin County, or certainly not in our Mississippi counties or Washington County or Clark County. If we're going to have any issues, it's going to be Pensacola on eastward, particularly over in Okaloosa County. And that's where they'll see the nastiest of the weather. And then going over towards Panama City. Panama City for sure is going to get an absolute ton of rain. They're also going to have to watch out for isolated tornadoes off of those bright rain bands over here. But for us, we're looking at a moderate tropical storm. Right now, the Hurricane Center is calling for 50-mile-per-hour winds. Kind of looking at the development of it this morning. It may get a little cranked up more than that, but we're still not going to get anything. It's not going to have enough time to really, turn to any major storm. Probably won't even get close to hurricane strength, but it may get to 60, 65 miles per hour. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. That's a possibility. but there's no real possibility of like turning and going over to, say, Biloxi. So we're pretty much out of it, Mobile and Baldwin County, of getting anything significant. Like I said, a few passing showers, some breezy conditions. The surf will be rough. And like I said earlier, I don't know if you weren't here with me, the one thing I worry about is that we have a nice day on Monday, nice north breeze. It looks nice outside. There's not much in the way of rain. Folks head on down to the beach. The surf, no matter what, will be very rough and very dangerous. I want to keep people out of the water. Surfers can have it, but the rest of us need to stay out of the water. So that's what we're looking at here with Fred. And of course, I showed you Grace as well, going to be hot on its heels. So we'll be tracking this for you through the weekend and of course through the day tomorrow, letting you know exactly what's happening. Once again, I don't expect any major shifts from this point, so it's not going to do anything crazy and wild. There's still a cone, like I said, there's still a cone that goes from Mexico Beach to the Florida-Alabama line, but don't look too hard into this. At this point, it's the Florida Panhandle that is going to get the worst of the weather out of this one. Heavy rain, the gusty winds, it's going to be in the Florida Panhandle. So that is where we're going to see that. Nothing's really going to change that at this point. It's just something we're going to have to keep tracking until it makes landfall Monday night. So that is a look here at Fred. Hope you have yourselves a great day. Like I said, your Sunday will be fine. A few storms popping up this afternoon. For a lot of us, our Monday will be pretty good too. Just the way it worked out for us. Just depends on where you're at. For everybody that joined us here on our YouTube page and our Facebook page, we do appreciate it. We'll keep you updated here at Fox 10 throughout the day and throughout the storm as it works its way on into the Gulf Coast. Bye now.